Hello, Heather. You're the first one on. Way to go, my dear. All right. Hello, friends. Hello, Heather, and everyone else. Maybe just you and me, Heather. Probably is right now. Oh, wait. No, it's Karen's here. Oh, and there's 4 people here. All right. It's 9 o'clock at night where I am. Time to paint. Other people are thinking of going to bed. I'm thinking of working. All right, this is Daily Art Adventure number. Can you see that? Yes, 740. A little broken color. Are you good, Karen? All right. So I'm not promising to broadcast a long time. Lucky for you. This painting is all finished except for a little bit of broken color. Yeah, hi, Karen. Thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to report that the painting is sold to a man around the corner who walked by yesterday, and whose house evidently overlooks this view across the water. So that was a big drawing point. And he came by this afternoon and said, you know, last night when he came by and said hello, Marita from St. Louis. Good to have you here. Last night he thought he liked it, and he came back this afternoon and saw it basically in this state, still liked it, and said he would come by tomorrow. And tomorrow is our pack up and clean up the house and get ready to go home. So if I'm going to finish this painting, it has to be tonight. So I'm rather motivated to finish it, since seeing that it's sold. That's usually a good motivating circumstance. Somebody wants to buy it. That's very good for me. Thank you, Lord. And it's all done except, as I said, for a little broken color. Right now I've got a medium purple on my brushes. And so I'm looking around on the painting for anything that is not purple, right? But it is a mid-tone, just about, I would say, right at about a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Just about right at a 5 mid-tone. So anywhere that occurs is a good possibility for me to put down a little of this color. All right, that's enough. I'm going to add some permanent rose to that. So now I have a very there you go. I have a very intense, lighten that up just a little bit. Intense, man, I don't know what color to call this. Fuchsia, raspberry. More intense than that. Magenta, not magenta either. Anyway, forgive me, I don't know what to call it, but it's a cross between purple and red, and it's quite an intense color, and it's about on a scale of 1 to 10, or 0. 0 is white and 10 is black. This is about a 4. So I'm looking for things, again, whoops, that's too dark. Looking for parts of the painting that are slightly lighter than mid-tone, slightly lighter than average. Got it? And most of the time, I'm looking for bits that are not reddish, purplish reddish. Well, there's nothing on believe me, there's nothing on the canvas that is this exact color. And every once in a while, so this is a new gig for me. This whole broken color thing. I've only been doing this about 9 or 10 months, I think. And I still feel pretty, it feels like a new thing for me. Part of the reason that I am enjoying, and I'm reasonably sure I'm going to mature in some direction in my use of this broken color. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's continue on. So let me explain a little bit of mechanics. The broken color is not, we're not dealing with realism, we're dealing with the opposite of realism. And so I typically just go around the color wheel. And no doubt the most common place for me to start is with purple for some reason. So, and then I'm going to go to, so I'm going from purple to red. So now I've got a dark, intense, cool red. But it's quite a bit darker than what I've been putting down so far. Okay, back to, I was trying to explain, starting to explain before I so rudely interrupted myself. I started to explain why do I like this new thing of broken color. The main reason is, wait, oh boy, you guys are chatting up a storm. Let me catch up real quick. Night owl, yep. Yeah, the town does have good Wi-Fi. I've noticed that myself. Ooh, Heather, good question. Heather, a lot of funny chats, but let me address Heather's question, which was, do I ever do value studies? Funny you should ask that. Here, so for those of you who have missed my broadcasts this week, I am painting this week with, sorry you didn't get to see more of them. I've been painting all week with 4 friends, one of whom is Mike Rooney, and if you follow me often, you've heard me talk about Mikey's Rule. That's that Mike Rooney. And he does quite extensive, or very extensive is not the word I'm looking for really, but religiously, in the vernacular form of the word. He does values studies for pretty much all of his paintings. In fact, he does a value study, then he does a color study, and then does his big painting. And every time I watch him do that, I go, man, I really need to start doing that. So Heather, it's so funny you asked, because I'm feeling guilty, like, oh, I should start doing value studies. And Heather, the answer, more practical to your question, is when I was doing my great big paintings, which I would look forward to getting back to when the finances were worked out, then indeed I was doing, I was being a good boy at that time, and I was doing value studies and color studies and so on. So I believe they are a good idea. That's weak, isn't it? This is a case of, don't do as I say, not as I do. I think most people should do studies, including value studies. But most of the time I don't, but I do not approve of my the fact that I don't. I aspire to be a better painter. Anyway, I don't really feel guilty about it, but I do think it's a good idea. And I look forward to getting in the habit, shall we say. One of the things that Mike does is he does these little black-white studies and little color studies, very nice ones in gouache, and he executes them quite nicely and sells almost every single one on Facebook. Now, in the last couple of years, I've been a terrible Facebooker. Not a diligent Facebooker at all. That may change. That I'll let you know as things develop. So he sells his black and whites for $25 or $50 and his little color sketches for $50 or $75 and sells nearly every one on Facebook, which inspires me considerably. Almost enough to start doing it. Well, anyway, never mind. That's enough of that subject. Thanks for asking, Heather. That is a very good subject. Yes, Heather, I think you should do value studies. Another comment about the broken color thing that I'm doing right now. I've realized that I'm going to start, I think most of the time, calling it broken color and strengthening, pushing color. Because I find that when I've got these nice intense colors, most of my, by the way, most of my broken color process is intense colors. It's most of the time. So I'm not doing real subtle stuff, even though that would be perfectly appropriate, legal, so to speak. But most of mine is rather intense colors. And again, as I mature in this, I may change from that. I don't know. But that's where I'm at right now, and I'm still enjoying the process. Hang on just a second. I am having a terrible time trying to get a nice yellow orange. Mixing colors, wasting all your time. So I may start calling this broken color and pushing color. Broken color and intensifying colors, because it turns out that's actually a more accurate description of what I do or what I find myself doing. I now have a medium, a little brighter than mustard yellow on my brushes. So anytime I put down a mark that doesn't match the value of where I put it, then that's not broken color. But sometimes I like the way it looks anyway. So I leave it. If I leave it there, then again, that's an example of pushed color, if you will, if I can kind of coin that term. Exaggerating the color is what I mean by that, pushing. I think we need a bigger boat. Uncle 60 says, Hey Dan, do you pay for that YouTube page that I have? No. A lot of fools use it when they buy me again. Here, a lot of us are going from Facebook to something called MeWe. No kidding. Wow. No, Heather, those little, if I know which ones you're talking about, those little watercolor sketches that I did a while back did not sell well. I have a whole, out in my garage at home, I have a whole bucket full of delightful little watercolor, delightful, if I say so myself, delightful little watercolor sketches and of all kinds. Pen and ink, watercolor, charcoal, all kinds of things. And the reason they're in my garage is because they never sold. They have not sold yet, anyway, I should say. Not never, but they haven't sold yet. Thanks for asking. Yellow. I'm gonna go back toward orange here for a minute. I'm gonna do just a few highlights in the water down here. Just a few. Yeah, good. That's enough. Now I have a more orange-ish color on my brushes, so I'm looking for things that are not orange. Okay, now I keep starting out to talk with you about why do I do the, what is it that I like about, besides the obvious, what is it I like about broken color? And it is, clearly it's the vibration. And one of you all, feel free to yell if I'm talking about you, one of you all sent me a YouTube video several months ago of a neurologist, I think, a brain doctor kind of person, who was discussing, in essence, discussing broken color and why it appears to vibrate. Now, and I was particularly, thank you for sending it to me, whoever did, and I was particularly fascinated with it because that is exactly the sensation, or the impression, I want to say, the impression that I had as soon as I started doing this broken color is, wow, it vibrates. And this neurologist, I think he was, explained in a very scientific manner why that is the case. I'll share that with you right now because it was really interesting. He said that one part of our brain, if we have two colors side by side, but they're the same value, they're the same lightness, darkness, but they're different colors, one part of our brain sees that as one complete shape. Another part of our brain, if we have two colors, same value, sees that as two separate. And so the two parts of our brain are fighting with each other, if you will, vying with each other for dominance, and that creates the vibration, which I think is just as fascinating as can be. I think it's fascinating because before I heard anything like that scientific, I had experienced that. I said, wow, this is crazy. It seems to vibrate. I don't know if you probably can't pick up on that on the video. I'm sure. You might be able to on the print, that I will post. I will post, as I do eventually. I post all of my finished paintings on YouTube community, which means, by the way, if you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you receive notifications, I think that means every time I post a still image on my YouTube channel, you will receive a notification. I receive these from people that I subscribe to. So you get the notification, but it's not a video. It's sending you to a to a still image. I know, forgive my stuttering speech. I do when I'm painting, you know, people say, can you paint? Can you paint and talk at the same time? You all know, you regulars. Well, the answer is, well, sort of. But he speaks with a very stilted and strange, like that, a strange lilt to his voice. Sometimes it drives me crazy when I hear myself stuttering and stopping and starting. It's like, come on, boy, can't you get it out? And my answer is no, I can't, because evidently I can't. I think I fool myself into thinking that I can truly paint and talk at the same time, but evidently what is actually happening, speaking of two parts of my brain, evidently my brain's going back and forth between the two rather rapidly, and that causes a lot of strange halting speech. That's what I'm looking for. So, sorry, if you ever meet me in person, you'll go, that's funny, he doesn't talk that way in person. If I'm not painting, I can talk normally, you know, most of the time anyway. So, vibration. That's why I'm doing this, because it creates a fascinating vibration. Makes painting so much more interesting. Okay, I started at purple. I'm all the way around to yellow, maybe finished yellow. Some of you who have been with me, some of my regulars, you know, by the way, I've got this funny little game I'm playing with myself. And I do it especially in the broken color phase. The game is, I've discovered there are 3 colors that I virtually never use in my painting. Never used, past tense. 3 colors. One is a bright lemon yellow, like cad yellow light or Hansa yellow or lemon yellow. One is a sickly bubblegum pink. I never do pink. Not never, but virtually never. And I never do hot aqua turquoise. Okay, so once I discovered that I never did those colors, then it turned into an agenda item. Okay, on every painting, and this is almost silly. This is not very mature painting. To force oneself to use a color simply because one never uses that color. Folks, I would call that immature. But doggone, it's so fun. So I'm playing this game. I'm doing it right now. So right now I have intense cold yellow. Some of you, again, don't realize that there is such a thing as cold yellow. It's the yellow that's far away from yellow-orange. So it's the other end, the greenish end of yellow. So cad yellow light, which in my case, of course, would be cad yellow light imitation, or lemon yellow, or Hansa yellow. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, permanent yellow light. Go figure. So that's what they call that. Anyway, so that's probably enough. Maybe one more spot. Okay. Again, I sort of laugh at myself. This is so silly. But shh, don't tell anybody. It's our little secret. Kind of fun. Okay, the second color that I never use is what I typically call sickly bubblegum pink. I'm not overly given to bubblegum pink. Or bubblegum, either one. I was when I was a kid, you know. All right, so there's a real pink. Straight up pink. I never use pink. Till I discovered that I never use pink. Now I make a point to use pink. I do not recommend that you do what I'm doing here. It's just positively silly. As I said, just kind of fun. I don't have to go overboard with it, you know, just a little here and a little there is plenty. Ooh, along the bow of this of this ship. That's good. Because the ship already has a slight pinkish, dark, dirty pink cast to it. Little pink in the sky. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? We've all seen pink in the sunset. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Some of you are thinking, man, you're not very courageous with that pink. And I would say, you're darn tootin'. You're exactly right. I am not very courageous with this pink. Any more? Nope. Okay, now let's do the three forbidden colors. I didn't realize they were forbidden, you know, till I discovered, wait a minute, I never use those colors. All right, so the third one is a bright aqua green or turquoise. There we go. Ooh, nailed it. Nailed it. You can't see that here. There. Can you see it? There, right there. That's pretty intense, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, somebody just made it with Heather, considering don't get too courageous. You're exactly right. I agree. I was thinking the same thing. Don't get too crazy with it, Dan, because what if the guy comes back and says, ooh, I liked it better before you put all those crazy colors in it. Wise words. Not that I'm going to heed them, you understand, but there's no question that they're wise, Heather. And I actually am heeding them. Don't listen to my bluff and blunder. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm being pretty conservative, I think. In fact, watch. Here's a color I'm not crazy about, this red. So I can do a lot of stuff with a rag, with a finger in a rag to just diffuse. Ooh, that was a nice move right there. A little bit of aqua on the edge of that boat. Okay, where else can I squeeze? I've got some there, here and there. That's right, Heather. I know it. What did you do? Let me stand back. Heather's got me all nervous now. Nah, we're good. We're good. Thanks for your concern, Heather. I agree with you. All right, so I'm done with the verboten colors, which are yellow, bubblegum pink, and bright, intense aqua. So now back to going around the color wheel. Do you remember I started with purple, red, orange, yellow. So next, around the color wheel is green. So what calls for green? I'm looking for things that are not green, mostly, but are the value of what I have on the brush right now. Hello, David. Here, speaking of which, here comes one of the men that influenced me toward broken. I'm doing the last layer's broken color.
It's looking great.
So you can see it, can't you? I had some viewers saying, you better watch out, it's already sold. The guy's liable to show up and say, what the heck did you do to my painting? So I'm being cautious a little bit, but David, let me know if you think I'm overdoing it, because I can always take a rag.
That looks good.
It's not bothering you, right? It's not too much broken color.
Uh, the dots you just put over that green dot,
Yeah?
just reshape it. This looks like 3 circles there
Where?
to your right on the front of the bow of that first red boat.
Right there?
Right there.
3 circles?
You
Yeah,
see
3
that?
dots?
3 dots.
Yep.
Just the shape of it.
Yep.
Color
Oh, I
wise.
just wiped it out. That's all right. Yep. Good. Good observation.
A little bit of blue in there. Looks great.
Thank you.
I think he's gonna be tickled.
So it was Phil Stark, right, who
Yeah,
really
dark broken color. Yeah.
conveyed the broken color idea to us.
Yes.
I've realized, I've been doing it for about intentionally since the beginning of the year, and discovered that I actually do 2 things in this last stage. One is broken color, but also pushing color. Because many times, like, I've got a green on my brush, and I'll, do like a bit of a tree or something like that. I don't like that mark. So I've just resigned myself. Okay, it's broken color plus pushing color, which I think helps me, because I'm not a natural colorist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. But this is helping me. I think look like I'm a colorist.
That looks great.
Okay, I started with purple. I've gone all the way around the color wheel. Purple, red. Okay, and now blue. I'm all the way around the color wheel to blue. So my last broken color is going to be some blue stuff. Of course, blue means warm blue, cool blue, light blue, dark blue, etc., etc., etc. That was a nice one.
It's cooling down nice now.
It is. It's beautiful out here with the shirt on. Anyway. Ooh, there's a good place. Right there. That's nice. Yahoo. Happiness is making the painting better this late in the date, if you know what I mean. This late in the process. Doing something that looks good. All right, anything else, blue? I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm going to mix up a real pale blue and see if anything jumps out at me. They're making me nervous, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I can see so much more. What is the bright blue thing to the left of the red boat? Oh, this is a spool of netting, I think. Like these are fishing boats. And this net most of the nets are green and hang from the outrigging stuff. But this, I believe, is also a net, and it's blue and it's rolled up on a big, big spool. And anybody that knows fishing boats recognizes it's a very, ubiquitous shape in the painting image, in the fishing world, not in the painting world. So it's like I said, you if you've ever seen a fishing boat, everybody recognizes that thing. So it would not be a mystery to the locals here. They would think it was rather peculiar if the boat didn't, or at least one of the boats didn't have that big thing on the back of it. All right, any other blue? So when I put down this, so I've got a pale blue, and if I put it down on something that's dark, then that's not broken color. Do you understand? I just don't want to confuse you. Brilliant. So glad I did that. Little reflection of sky in those windows right there. The same in those windows in the front of that boat. Whew, glad I thought of that. It looks so good. I think I can do a little bit on this window too, just a little tiny bit. Again, so when I'm doing light blue on a dark place, that is not broken colored. And I just, again, want to make sure I'm not confusing you. It's only when I put it on something of the same value. That's what causes the vibration, like this right here. And the broken color doesn't have to be a dot either. It can be a smudge, of course. Now I'm just staring. Wondering if there's anything else. I've already signed the painting. Maybe you noticed that. So I don't, I'm officially finished, even if I'm not actually finished. I'm deciding to make the front of this it's sort of a dirty pink boat, sort of dirty pink. It's rust, the color of rust, or the color of dark red, not clean. And it's good. The two boats are, I've separated. At one point, they were too similar in color, and I've managed to separate the two of them quite a bit over the last several layers. So right now, I've got a dirty pink. I use that expression a lot, don't I? It just seems like the best way to describe some colors. A dirty pink on my brushes right now. And suddenly dawns on me, wait a minute, it would look good to just have a little more sky right down there. Now I might be, what's the word? Fiddling. Leave me alone. I'm having fun fiddling. No, I hope I'm kidding. There is a little bit of a blush on this one building. I've done it a couple times and I'm still not quite happy. This might be the last thing I do here. Right here, I want it to feel like secondary, reflecting off this on the side of this building, reflecting off the bright boat to the right here. All right, I hope as soon as I finish here, I'm going to go back in the house, and some of us, we're going to jam. One of the characteristics of our annual paint out is Mike and I and whoever else we invite, we're all musicians of various types, degrees, so we have fun jamming. All right, I'm going to call that, what will I call it? Great question. What should I call this painting? Sold. No. I just saw an opportunity for just a little bit of broken color. What will I call it? I will tell you, I had a delightful conversation with somebody just a few days ago, not here, somebody back home, and they were sort of discussing with me the advisability of giving my paintings more editorial names or more meaningful names, might be one way to put it. And it really resonated with me. I'm not sure how to describe it. You could say more spiritual names, perhaps, but not religious names. No. You know, a word like that would have the word peace in it. Now, I've actually used that word quite a bit, so that won't work. Anyway, so I have no idea what I'm going to call it, but I will think about what that person said. Say, Because, well, one of the reasons I consider that is because I do, what, rightly or wrongly, I consider myself a man of letters. I enjoy language and so on. So it's unlike many artists who run very hard away from anything literate. I don't. So anyway, don't know. That's a good question. I think this subject came up earlier today. Oh, I don't like that, Mark. Here's a funny story. I am a published author. I wrote a book in 1985 or 6. A whole book. 200 pages long. I'm debating whether to tell you any more than that. But it doesn't have my name on the cover. So I'll just tell you that some of the circumstance. I was working as an artist for an organization, and something happened. Somebody who was writing the book, one of the staff members who was writing the book, quit for some reason, I don't remember, and I was the artist, and I said, "Oh, let me give it a try." They didn't know if I could write or not. I knew I could write. Anyway, so I started writing the book, and they were all frankly amazed. Like, what? This is a lot better than what we've been putting up with. So I ghost wrote an entire book, and the author, the name on the front of the book is the president of the organization. There you go, isn't life funny? That's all I'm going to say about that. I might divulge more information later, but at the moment, that's going to have to do. So I'm a published author. Just nobody knows it. Life is funny. Anyway, so I don't shy away from. Man, I've just opened a can of worms here in painting. I'm not talking about what I'm talking. I just introduced some orange all of a sudden to this cloud, and I like it. I don't, but I'm going to wipe most of that off. It's just too late to launch into such. I'm not wiping it all off, but most of it. And a little bit of that down here in the water. Okay. Whoo, quit fiddling. Is anybody there shooting me? Let me go back and read all your comments here. This is wrapping it up, gang. Good. Only 40 minutes or so. Yeah, I could call it done and sold. Hello, Brenda S. You live in Australia. You're my third Aussie to watch today. Sherry, excellent question. I need to find out what the name of the dock area is. That's a great idea. Uncle, fishing quota, good name. Guppy Junction. Yeah, start a a contest for naming my paintings. That is hilarious. Guppy Junction, fishing quota, money in the bank. Call it underpriced. Guarantee. You know, I did not get. Heather commenting on my ghostwriting activities. Sadly, books don't seem to sell for most authors. My mom has won awards for her murder mystery novels, but it sounds like her contract wasn't renewed. I hope yours did well. It's still in print 30 years later, so wine time, put down the brush. You're exactly right. You guys are crazy. Again, I don't know why you guys don't have jobs. And why you watch me every time I broadcast. But what the heck, I love it, and I enjoy your company very much. As you know, I enjoy our funny little community. And that's part of what makes, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I think, oh, I need to paint. Oh, that's all right, I'm going to have friends watching me. You make some of the drudgery sometimes worthwhile. Wouldn't it be fun to have a convention sometime? A gathering. Would you guys sign up? Would you guys sign up for art class in Italy or France or something? Wouldn't that be fun? Of course, you have to pay me. Aye, there's the rub. And if you guys are artists, you're all as broke as I am. I got the wrong people watching me. Out with you artists. I want rich people watching me. Wait a minute. That's kind of an insult, isn't it? Some of you guys have real jobs. So you are rich. Or you have spouses at work, or you have retirement pensions and 401ks and stuff like that. If any of that was offensive, I sincerely apologize. I'm brokenhearted, you can tell. I'm still chuckling. I mean, first of all, accusing you of being broke because you're artists, and then accusing you of being rich, which is rude. All right. Oh, do you know more comments? I'm sorry. Hey, no insulting the subscribers. Oh my goodness. Mevo Plus. Uncle, I saw you send me an email, I think, and I haven't read it yet. I've been not doing anything but trying to paint. Sherry, good to have you here. Right. Mevo Plus still on the way. Thank you so much for your very generous, and I'm absolutely sincere, as you know. You and Jane, thank you so much, so much. Yeah, Jason, too young for pensions and 401ks, eh? Well, I hope you got a good job. All right. Let me play with the color a little bit. There it is at its coolest. There it is at its warmest. Whoa. I hope it doesn't have that kind of light on it. There it is at its brightest. And there it is in the dark. All right. I must be slap happy. Been delightful. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.